In the ever-shifting sands of the NBA offseason, few stories have sparked as much intrigue, speculation, and raw potential as the murmurs swirling around John Kuminga and the Sacramento Kings. Yes, you heard that right. The Kings might just be gearing up to make a bold, game-changing move to snap up Golden State's enigmatic young talent as he navigates the treacherous waters of restricted free agency. Imagine the scene. Kuminga, the 22-year-old powerhouse whose bursts of thunderous energy and flashes of all-around brilliance have electrified Warriors faithful, but left fans wondering, when will he truly blossom into the star we all know he can be? Now possibly donning the purple and black, taking his talents just a few hours away from the Bay, right across Northern California, on a team hungry not just for talent, but for a new identity. It's a tantalizing prospect, a storyline dripping with all the suspense and drama that only sports can deliver, and it's unfolding as we speak. Sacramento's scouts and front office have been quietly monitoring Kuminga's situation, eyeing his potential with a combination of admiration and calculated ambition, knowing full well that this isn't just about adding a skilled player, it's about seizing the future, about a franchise eager to escape its shadows and chase relevance. In one of the NBA's toughest conferences, think about what this would mean for the Kings, a team still yearning for that elusive playoff breakthrough, for a player who combines youth, upside, and a restless hunger to break through his current limitations. Kuminga's recent stats averaging 15.3 points, 4.6 rebounds, and 2.2 assists on a respectable 45.4% shooting may not scream superstar just yet, especially with his struggles from beyond the arc. But behind those numbers lies a story of untapped potential and a fiery determination to carve out his place on the hardwood. And the Kings, with their own history steeped in near misses and bursts of promise, could be the perfect crucible for his evolution. Now, here's the bomb drop. League insiders tell The Athletic's Sam Amick that Sacramento's interest isn't just a casual whisper. It's serious enough that the Kings are prepared to actively monitor his market, ready to test barriers by potentially presenting an offer sheet that could force Golden State's hand, or maybe even negotiate a sign-and-trade to unlock this seismic move. This is no ordinary free agency chase, folks. This could be a defining moment that reshapes both franchises' futures. But hold on just when you think you've digested the gravity of this potential saga. There's a second twist waiting in. The Wings, the Miami Heat, perennial contenders and architects of some of the sharpest moves in recent NBA memory, are also circling Kuminga like sharks, sensing the opportunity to snag a versatile forward who could thrive in their up-tempo, high-energy system. This adds another layer to the drama, a classic East versus West tug-of-war that only amplifies the stakes as Kuminga's next chapter looms. Will he stay in the cozy, familiar confines of Golden State, blending into Steve Kerr's rotation where he struggled for consistency over these first 4 seasons? Or will he break free, propelled by the Kings' vision or the Heat's championship pedigree, stepping out from the shadows into a starring role that he's so clearly craving? Kuminga hasn't hidden his ambitions conversations with reporters, reveal a player bursting with confidence and a desire to prove his worth, to finally earn the chance to lead rather than simply support. And that emotional undercurrent, the longing for respect, to be seen as a bona fide star, makes this potential move more than just a transaction. It transforms it into a narrative about growth, about destiny, about the relentless pursuit of greatness. Now, picture the possible ripple effects. If Kuminga were to join Sacramento, it wouldn't just be a simple cut-and-paste job into their roster. It would force the Kings to rethink their entire game plan, to mold their playing style around a young star whose dynamic skill set combining explosive athleticism, defensive versatility, and an improving offensive game could unlock new dimensions of play. De'Aaron Fox, Domantas Sabonis, and Kuminga on the floor together. The blend of speed, power, and youth would make Sacramento a nightmare matchup, breathing new life into a lineup that's battled injuries and inconsistency in recent seasons. And here's the kicker: such a move would send shockwaves across the league, signaling that Sacramento is no longer content with being a middle-of-the-pack pretender but is instead staking a claim among the NBA's rising forces. It's the kind of moment you remember years later, the turning point when a young, hungry player and a franchise searching for its soul come together to ignite something extraordinary. But before we get ahead of ourselves, the cliffhanger remains. Nagging and unavoidable, will Golden State simply match any offer, clinging to their guarded assets as they rebuild post-Doran and chase another splash championship run with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson still leading the charge? Or will they, perhaps reluctantly, but strategically, allow Kuminga to chase a larger role elsewhere, opening the door for the Kings or Heat to capitalize on this rare window of opportunity? One thing's for sure, this saga isn't just about contracts and negotiations. It's about the electric chemistry between player ambitions and franchise visions, about risks and rewards in a league where the margins between winning and losing are razor thin. It's the story of a young man who has battled injuries and inconsistency, refused to let doubt define him, and now stands on the precipice of a career-defining decision. And it's the story of a Kings organization with a restless fan base, ready to burst back into relevance, hungry for stars and hungry for a new destiny. So buckle up, Warriors news fans. This offseason could rewrite narratives, shatter expectations, and fuel the fires of NBA drama like never before. Jonathan Kuminga to the Kings? It's not just speculation anymore. It's a bold possibility on the horizon, and we'll be glued to every update as this thrilling story unfolds in real time. Don't blink, you won't want to miss a moment. If your heart just jolted imagining Kuminga in a Kings jersey, or maybe even suiting up in Miami's white and red, tap that comment box like your life depends on it, because we're riding this roller coaster all the way to the edge of the rim and beyond. Now listen, this isn't your run-of-the-mill off-season chatter. This is seismic, tectonic shifts threatening to rip the very fabric of Dub Nation's identity apart, or, dare I say, catapult us into a wild new chapter of glory, or chaos. So here we stand, at the crossroads where every whisper about Kuminga's future feels like an electric shock to the system. Let me ask you this. What if Golden State matching an offer sheet isn't the slam-dunk safety net we all assumed? What if they let Kuminga walk? I know for a faction of Warriors fans, the thought feels like betrayal. But think about it deeper. Does Kuminga's growth curve really align with the championship window, still propped up by Steph's immortal step back and Klay's ironclad return from the injury grave? With Draymond's defensive genius still anchoring the paint but playing fewer minutes, and Andrew Wiggins showing flashes of all-star potential but inconsistent on that dagger three, could this be the moment Kerr and Bob Myers decide to recalibrate the roster dynamics entirely? What if Kuminga, whose electric potential in 22-23 saw a career high in points per game at 15.3 and a major uplift in rebounding and assist numbers, is exactly what Sacramento sees as the missing key to dethrone the Suns and the Nuggets as Western Conference forces? Picture Fox, the lightning-quick floor general, feeding dime after dime to Domantas Sabonis down low, with Kuminga slashing lanes and unleashing explosiveness on both ends. Could this trio spark a new age of Kings basketball that finally shakes the West up in a way Sacramento fans only dared dream during the glorious but distant Cousins era? But then flip that coin to the Heat side. Miami, coached by the tactician Eric Spoelstra, has this uncanny ability to optimize talent that looks like it hasn't fully arrived yet, turning potential into championship fabric. Kuminga's rugged athleticism and gritty defense could slot perfectly next to a Bam Adebayo and Jimmy Butler tandem, riding the wave of Miami's relentless pace. Would a move south demoralize Dub Nation beyond repair? Or would it just be another chapter in the complex, evolving story of a young star finding his place in the league? And then there's the wild card of how any of this affects the psyche of the core Warriors trio. Steph Curry, coming off another jaw-dropping season, averaged at roughly 29 points per game, dishing out 6.3 assists with that genius-level shot. Selection still demands the ball in his hands, the rhythm of the team's heartbeat. Klay Thompson's historic comeback and monstrous shooting explosion, especially during the playoffs, reminded us all why he's still the ultimate two-way ace. But when Kuminga entered the lineup last season with an energy that lifted the team during those crucial moments defending switch-heavy lineups, crashing boards, and slashing aggressively, there was something electric yet raw about his impact. What if losing him throws a wrench in Kerr's finely tuned rotations? Or what if, shockingly, this opens the door for Moses Moody or Jonathan Podziemski to rise more swiftly into larger roles with less pressure, evolving into their own threatening pieces rather than late-round project players? Meanwhile, out west, the standings are a nail-biter. The Suns, still the favorites, are juggling their own injury reports, while the Nuggets, with a loaded superstar core featuring Jokic's transcendent playmaking, are itching for a repeat after a gritty title run. The Lakers, ever unpredictable, are lurking with that LeBron James blueprint experience clashing with youth. And let's not forget the Mavericks and the Thunder making noise, hungry for their own spot under the marquee lights. Amidst this turbulent climate, where every win and loss tilts the playoff scale precariously, the ripple effect of Kuminga's move, whether it's north to Sacramento, south to Miami, or staying tethered to the Bay, could shift balance in ways fans won't see coming until the postseason chaos explodes. The locker room under Steve Kerr has always been a fortress of trust, chemistry, and veteran savvy, but can that magic stretch to hold on to a young star chasing a bigger stage? There have to be whispers off the court, behind closed doors, about not only what role Kuminga should play, but what role Warriors want him to play. Remember the We Believe days and how that gritty, scrappy, never-say-die spirit united. A team that had little in the way of household names, but everything in heart? This isn't just a trade rumor or a negotiation tactic. This is about the soul of a franchise that once dominated the league with the KD splash, then endured countless injuries, roster shakeups, and still found a way back to the mountaintop with Steph and Klay to find the sands of time. But what happens now? Is this the twilight of the dynasty's peak years, or the dawn of a bold reimagining where fearless youth melds with seasoned superstardom to spark another run we'll be telling our grandkids about? Could Kuminga be the missing variable who doesn't just fit Kerr's system but redefines it? Or is he a player better served breaking out on his own with a new team's crest stitched across his chest? As someone who shouted for Baron Davis in '07, who wept with Klay's bleeding chin and fought through every twist and turn of this Warriors journey, I am telling you, the next few weeks could rewrite the story of this franchise. This isn't just roster building. It's fate and fast forward, a moment fraught with risk and promise, sacrifice and celebration. Golden State's future hangs in the balance, and how this saga resolves will either ignite another banner run or signal the bittersweet start of an era fading into memory. Now it's your turn. Drop everything you're feeling in the comments. No matter the angle, no filter, lay it all out, because this story is ours to tell together, and every take counts.